This pumpkin pie cheesecake is made with a full layer of my actual pumpkin pie on top of a layer of vanilla cheesecake, all set in a graham cracker crust. I did not think pumpkin pie could get better, but it does with this cheesecake. Hi, I'm Lindsay from Life, Love, and Sugar, and today we're making a pumpkin pie cheesecake. All right, to get started, we're gonna make our graham cracker crust. We're gonna start with our graham cracker crumbs, add a little bit of brown sugar. We'll stir this together real quick, and then we'll add our melted butter. All right, so once all the crumbs are coated in the butter, we're gonna add this to our springform pan. I have my springform pan set up with non-stick baking spray around the outside and some parchment paper on the bottom. It'll help us be able to remove the cheesecake from our pan later. All right, so I'm gonna spread these around in the pan, kind of get them evenly distributed, and then I'll press the crust into the bottom and up the sides a little bit. I like to use this glass cup when I'm pressing my cheesecake into my pan. It's got a nice flat bottom and a nice corner here so that I get a nice clean corner on my cheesecake crust. I'll press this into the sides, make sure that all stays in place. Once that's all set up in your pan, you can go ahead and pre-bake this in the oven for about 8 minutes. All right, so while the crust is baking, we can go ahead and make our fillings. We have the pumpkin pie filling and the cheesecake filling, so we'll start with the pumpkin pie. This is actually my full recipe for pumpkin pie on top of the cheesecake, so we'll make that. We've got our canned pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling, brown sugar, and eggs. We'll mix all this together. Now we'll add our cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, salt, and cornstarch. And then finally we have some milk and some heavy cream. All right, and we'll mix all of this together. So once this is all combined, we can set this aside and make the cheesecake filling. We're gonna start with our cream cheese. It should be room temperature, regular granulated sugar, and a little bit of all-purpose flour. Pop this on the mixer and mix it together on low speed until it's nice and creamy and well combined. All right, so once that is well combined, we're going to add our vanilla extract and sour cream. And we'll mix this until it's well combined and smooth. All right, so now we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. So now it's time to layer everything together in our pre-baked crust. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get the water bath set up on my pan first so I don't have to jostle things around a bunch after I layer it. Now we are going to add the pumpkin pie filling. Now you don't just want to like pour or dump the whole thing on top of the cheesecake filling, or it'll kind of create like a crater in the middle of it and be a little uneven, and we want to keep some nice defined layers. So what I'm going to do is use a spoon and kind of spoon that filling on top of the cheesecake. All right, so the filling is ready to go. Now we're going to fill our outer pan with the water and pop it in the oven to bake. All right, so after your cheesecake has baked, cooled, chilled, and is ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and take off the sides of our springform pan. This should come right off. And then we can use a little offset spatula here to help loosen the cheesecake from the bottom. Slide this off onto our hand. It should be nice and firm. It shouldn't really be a problem. Parchment paper stayed on the pan. And now we can move this over to our serving plate, and we'll set this aside while we make our whipped cream. For our whipped cream, we've got our cold, heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, which will help stabilize the whipped cream so it doesn't wilt, vanilla extract, and a little cinnamon. Now we'll pop this on our mixer and let it whip until stiff peaks form. We can add it to our piping bag. I've got a Teco Tip 849 here. And now you have your final pumpkin pie cheesecake. This truly is the best cheesecake. You will wow your guests with this at the holidays. You are going to love it. For the full recipe, head over to lifeloveandsugar.com.